Alright, this is Jay Dragon, and I'd like to welcome you to the Dragon Den. In the process of this, I was sitting right there, I was thinking, now, instead of sitting right there, buying some expensive stuff, I would sit right there and buy some stickers and come up with the concept of taking these leathers and putting them on the shirts or stuff like that. And so I was just doing this to modify. So I went with JD to stand for the initials of J Dragon. Alright. And I was sitting right there putting it on this because I will use this for when I paint, so I don't get paint on my clothes or whatever. But I know y'all understand what I mean. But alright. So I wanted to be a little cheap, so I tried these cheap stickers, and they didn't work out too well. They did a good job, but when they came up, they kept tearing and staying stuck to the cloth too much. So that was the problem that I had with it. It wasn't really a big problem, but I did kind of get over it. So I sit right there, and this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to put the J into the corner, and I wanted to put the D at the bottom. That way it'll look like the initials JD are together. So I sit right there and figured out how I wanted to do it. So what I did was clip that in over there, and I sit right there and put it on top and figured out how I wanted to. Later on, I took the J off afterwards and fixed it later to where it looks like they were blending together, but then I came up with another idea later on. So basically what I'm doing is I'm putting white down first. That way the picture that I put onto it, the next color that I put onto it, it'll pop out more and it'll look better that way. So you know, you want it to pop out and look right when you do this kind of stuff. But I'm also taking and I'm using Angelus paint and stuff like that, but I'm also making sure I got too soft in my paint. But you ain't got to do that all the time. I mean, if you want it to sit right there and have a little strength on it, you can sit right there and just put it on directly, especially if you're not worried about it being too soft and having its area, because you know sometimes the shirts have that leather feel on them when you put them on, and sometimes those do crack a bit later on. So as in the process of doing this, I sit right there and put tape on it. So I have to be careful with the heat gun when I was using it, because it could warp my board from behind. So just be careful when y'all do this. So I'm trying it with my airbrush, and I'm really trying my best to learn how to get better at airbrushes. So y'all stick with me on that, because I'm gonna keep trying, because I really don't want to give up on that stuff, because I'm starting to like it, and I'm starting to learn how to take care of my airbrushes. A lot of practice. Just make sure you keep up with your stuff, and don't let anybody sit right there and tell you can't do it. Just keep on, make mistakes, come back and come better. That's the way art works. If you make a mistake, come back and work on it and redo it again. Sometimes we gotta sit right there and draw the picture and redo it again. I don't know how many times I've went through doing that I didn't realize that I could do it. Sometimes I realized I was a little too stubborn. But at the process, I sit right there and took the tape and stuff off. As you can see, it started peeling off wrong, and it weren't the paint, it was the glue on the thing, and I just couldn't get it all off. And then I tried to use something to fix it, and I pretty much screwed up. So basically I'm using my knife, sitting right there, trying to sit right there and pick up that end. I did it slowly so it wouldn't peel like it did, but it still stuck a little too much. So when you want to sit right there and do this kind of stuff, you want to be careful. So I wouldn't recommend getting this glue. That, see, this is the process that I messed up on, and it looks blurry and it messed up my color, and I was real annoyed about it. But anyway, I sit right there and I made a mistake. I got on with it. I sit right there and said, well, let's just go ahead and get this jacquard and use it to tighten up the sides and make it look good. And it worked out fairly, But then I was sitting right there, it wouldn't get everything done right. So card, I put a little bit of too soft in. It really didn't need it anyway, but I was thinking maybe it might. But I went in the process of thinking that, but I didn't really need to. But then it weren't getting darker in certain spots. So what I did was I went ahead and got my suede dye, and I was sitting right there and I used it instead, and it worked out even better than what I wanted it to. So you're going to sit right there, and when you make a mistake, don't sit right there and get mad about it and throw it away. Sometimes we got to sit right there and redo it again, because you never know. You might make it look even better than what you did just because you had that mistake. And that mistake might have made you make it look better than it did before, because it may have gave you a new look on it. So what it does is we make mistakes, we go back, we correct them, and we do the best we can. And that's basically what I did in this. I got a hold of a Pearl Pacific Blue, and I can't remember if it's Royal Red or whatever, but these two paints I really like. I'm on the process of using this on a Jordan shoes, these two colors, and maybe in my next video for the this, you'll be able to see it, and I hope y'all enjoy it. So I'm sitting right there doing different angles so y'all can see how I'm going about putting the paint down. But I don't want to mess up on the angles or anything like that. And I'm doing the best I can with this little brush. And this little brush is working perfectly for me. I mean, I got plenty of brushes. Believe me, I got a little more brushes than I should. So I'm coming up on the red. It's pearl red color. It's Angelus paint. It's a Pearl brand for the Angelus paint, and it's a good kind. And I do recommend Angelus paint, so stick with it. I also recommend Jacquard. They work just as well, but I usually use those for just airbrush mostly. So what we're gonna do is sitting right there going around for the details and stuff like that, going around, and it looks pretty good at the process of this stuff. So I really liked it, and we're gonna sit right there and finish it up and put all the details into it that we can. Really weren't much, but make sure you put thin areas, and make sure you sit right there and dry it up as quick as you can so you can hurry up and and if you like this video, I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and for every video that I lay down on this show. And I appreciate everybody, and be safe, everybody. Thank you very much.